Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you are enjoying good health. May Allah protect all of us. Ameen. Students, in the previous lecture I had discussed the nature and sources of organic compounds, and in this particular lecture I shall explain the characteristics and uses of organic compounds. The content includes characteristics of organic compounds, uses of organic compounds, assignment, and at the end, moral lesson of the day. Let's start our discussion. Students, organic compounds have entirely different properties. These properties enable us to differentiate the organic compounds from inorganic compounds, and these properties are as follows. Number one is the origin of organic compound. Students, naturally occurring organic compounds are obtained from plants and animals. So the main source and origin of organic compounds is the living organism. On the other hand, inorganic compounds are obtained from minerals and rocks. So this is the difference between organic and inorganic. Second characteristic of organic compound is the composition. Carbon is the essential constituent of all the organic compounds. In addition to carbon, other elements include hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, etc. As you can see here that there are some examples of organic compounds, and in these examples the elements present are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur. Third is very important characteristic, which is catenation. Catenation is the self-linking property of carbon. Carbon forms a large number of compounds. The main reason for such a large number of compounds is the unique property of carbon to link with other carbon atoms to form long chains or rings. As you can see here that each carbon atom is connected to other carbon atoms, and in this way there is formation of long chains and ring structures as well. So this is due to the catenation property of carbon. Fourth characteristic of organic compounds is their covalent character or non-ionic character. Students, organic compounds have covalent bonds in their structure that may be polar or non-polar. Therefore, they do not give ionic reactions. Furthermore, these bonds can be single, double or triple. As you can see in this diagram, carbon-carbon single bond, carbon-carbon double bond and carbon-carbon triple bond, and this is due to the ability of carbon to form multiple bonds. On the other hand, inorganic compounds are generally ionic in nature and therefore they do give ionic reactions. Combustion. Students, organic compounds with the high percentage of carbon are generally flammable and combustible. As you can see, the different petroleum products, natural gas as well, all these organic products are combustible and flammable. On the other hand, inorganic compounds are mostly non-combustible. Next property is the low melting and boiling point of organic compound. Generally, organic compounds have low melting and boiling points and are volatile in nature. As you can see that the melting point of benzene is just 6 degrees Celsius. Aniline just melts at -6 degrees Celsius. Boiling point of methane is -164 degrees Celsius. So this shows that the organic compounds have low melting and boiling points. On the other hand, inorganic compounds have comparatively high melting and boiling points. Solubility of organic compounds. Students, as you know that organic compounds have non-polar linkages, therefore they are generally soluble in organic solvents like alcohol, ether, benzene, carbon disulfide, etc., and they are less soluble in water. As you can see in this diagram as well, that organic compound is more soluble in ether, but it is comparatively very little soluble in water. On the other hand, inorganic compounds with ionic bonds are soluble in polar solvents like water. As you can see that NaCl is very soluble in water due to its ionic nature. Next property is the stability of organic compounds. I have already told you that organic compounds have low melting and boiling points. Therefore, they are less stable than inorganic compounds and they generally decompose at high temperature. So the decomposition process of organic compounds occurs at high temperature. Conduction of organic compounds. As organic compounds have covalent bonds in their structure, therefore they are poor conductors of electricity both in fused state and in solution form, whereas inorganic compounds, being ionic in nature, are good conductors of electricity in molten state and in aqueous solution. As you can see here that wood is an organic compound and therefore it is non-conductor of electricity. Similarly, you can also see that the plastic materials and papers, all these are organic in nature and are very poor conductors of electricity. Complexity of organic compounds. Students, organic compounds are usually large and structurally more complex. For example, you have seen the structure of starch, proteins. All these are macromolecules which have large structure and are complicated in nature. The molecular masses of these compounds range from a few thousands to millions. So there exists complexity in the structure of organic compounds. Slow rate of reactions of organic compounds. Due to the complex nature of organic compounds, their rates of reactions are very slow. So these often require some specific conditions like temperature, pressure or catalyst to enhance the yield. For example, this is the halogenation reaction of alkane. You can see that this reaction requires catalyst like heat energy or light energy, and in the absence of the catalyst the reaction does not proceed. Similarly, the oxidation of benzene in the presence of V2O5 occurs only at 450 degrees Celsius temperature. So this reaction also requires some specific condition because organic compounds have slow rate of reactions. Students, you have observed that the food material which you have kept in refrigerator have long shelf life. This is due to the reason that their decomposition rate slows down at low temperature, because organic compounds generally decompose at high temperature. So when you keep the food in the refrigerator, it means you are going to decrease the temperature of the product. In this way you are going to slow down the rate of decomposition. So this shows that the organic compounds generally decompose at high temperature. Furthermore, they require high temperature to increase their rate of reactions. A main characteristic of organic compounds which differentiate them from inorganic substances is to exhibit the phenomena of isomerism. Students, compounds having same molecular formulas but different structures are called isomers, and the phenomena is known as isomerism. Here are the isomeric structures of pentane. Pentane has the molecular formula C5H12. With this molecular formula, three types of structures are formed: N-pentane, isopentane and new pentane. Students, you can see that all these structures have 5 carbon and 12 hydrogens, but their structures are entirely different from each other. This is basically the phenomena of isomerism. The isomerism phenomena is very rare in inorganic compounds. So this is the main reason or main characteristic which is used to differentiate an organic compound from an inorganic compound. Next characteristic is the similarity in behavior of organic compounds. Students, there exists a close relationship between different organic compounds which is explained in the form of homologous series. Homologous series is a series of compounds in which the adjacent members differ by a CH2 group. Like you can see here that the first member, methanol, has the formula CH3OH. The second member, ethyl alcohol, is differentiated from methyl alcohol by a CH2 group. Similarly, propyl alcohol has an additional CH2 group, butyl alcohol has an additional CH2 group, and so on. So in this way we can explain the behavior of these compounds. This similarity in behavior has reduced the study of millions of compounds to only a few homologous series. Students, the homologous series existence is very rare in inorganic compounds. So again, this is another difference between organic and inorganic compounds. So far we have discussed 13 points of differences between organic and inorganic compounds. Now I shall discuss the behavior of some of the compounds like CO, CO2, CS2, carbonate, bicarbonate, cyanate and thiocyanate ions. Students, all these compounds have carbon in their structure, but these are not regarded as organic compounds. These are basically inorganic compounds. Why inorganic? Because although these compounds have carbon in their structures, but actually these lack those characteristics which are typical of organic compounds. Like these lack the phenomena of isomerism, there is no homologous series in their structure, these have fast rate of reaction, these all have simple structure, these are not combustible, these all have high melting and boiling points than organic compounds, and definitely their solubility is greater in water. So this shows that these lack the characteristics which are typical of organic compounds. That is why all these are inorganic compounds. These are not regarded as organic compounds. Dear students, my next point of discussion is the uses of organic compounds. So the first use of organic compounds is in the food industry. Students, proteins, fats, carbohydrates, oils which are used in food are all organic in nature. These are all organic products, so organic chemistry finds its use in food. The clothes which we wear are all organic in nature. Actually these are made up of polymers like cotton, silk, wool, nylon. All these polymers are organic. Students, materials used for shelter like wood, paints, varnishes are also organic in nature. So this shows that organic chemistry is also helpful in providing the shelter. Next is they're used in power and transportation. Organic compounds like natural gas, coal and petroleum are main source of energy, and power generation definitely for transportation as well. So organic chemistry is also helpful in providing the fuel for transportation and in generating the power. Number 5 is the use of organic compounds as medicines and drugs. All the pharmaceutical products are organic in nature. This includes all antibiotics like penicillin, streptomycin, analgesics, antipyretics, anti-inflammatory, anti-allergic drugs. All these are organic in nature. Insecticides. Students, DDT stands for diphenyl trichloroethane. DDT is an important insecticide which is used to kill the insects. DDT is also organic in nature. Students, hormones and steroids are produced by glands in multicellular organisms to regulate the behavior and physiology, and all these hormones and steroids are organic in nature. One such example of steroid is dexamethasone, which is also being used as an anti-inflammatory drug, and currently is being used to treat the patients severely ill by coronavirus. So all these type of steroids and hormones are organic. Number 8 is their use as vitamins. Vitamins are required in small quantities for the proper functioning and proper metabolism of organisms. Students, all the vitamins are organic. Enzymes. As you know that enzymes are biocatalysts which are required to catalyze the reactions occurring in living organisms. Students, enzymes are made up of amino acids, and you know amino acids are all organic compounds made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and in some cases sulfur as well. So enzymes are also organic in nature. Antiseptics. Antiseptics are also known as antimicrobial substances. These are applied to living tissues to reduce the possibility of infection. Students, antiseptics are also organic molecules. One such example of an antiseptic agent is isopropanol, which is also used in hand sanitizers. Anesthetics are the drugs which are used to induce anesthesia. Formerly, diethyl ether, an organic compound, was used as an anesthetic. Currently, propofol is being applied as a general anesthetic. Propofol is also organic molecule. Pigments and dyes which are used to fix different colors on different surfaces are also organic molecules. Next is the use of organic molecules in paper industry. Students, the word paper is derived from the name of a plant, papyrus. Paper is basically a sheet material which is made up of a network of natural cellulosic fibers. This cellulose material is organic in nature, so this indicates that paper is also made up of an organic molecule. Ink. Ink is a liquid or a paste that contains the pigments or dyes, and it is used to color the surface to produce an image, text or design. Students, ink can be a complex medium. Ink is basically composed of pigments, dyes, different solvents, surfactants, lubricants. All these components are organic molecules. So ink is also made up of organic molecules. Perfumes. Plants and animals have long been used in perfumery as a source of essential oils and aroma compounds. Now, vanillin and coumarin are basically used as fragrant compounds in perfumes. These compounds are organic molecules, so that is why perfumes are also made up of organic molecules. Students, organic molecules are also used as plastics. These are basically synthetic or semi-synthetic molecules which are molded into different type of objects. Examples include acrylics and polyethylene. Next is the use of organic molecules in rubber industry. Rubber basically consists of polymers of organic compound isoprene, and isoprene is basically made up of naturally occurring compounds secreted by different parts of plants and animals. Like you can see here, this is the latex which is secreted by plants. These are the gloves which are made up of isoprene, and resins are also made up of naturally occurring compounds which are secreted by plants. All these compounds are organic in nature. Propellants. Students, propellants are those chemical substances which are used in the production of energy and propulsion of a vehicle. Organic compounds are basically used as propellants. For example, gasoline, jet fuel, rocket fuel, motor fuel, all these are used as propellants, and all these are organic in nature. Students, an explosive is a material or a reactive substance that can produce an explosion. An example of an organic explosive material is nitroglycerin, which is used in the formation of dynamites. So this is basically organic molecule. Soaps and detergents. Soaps and detergents, being the salts of fatty acids, are organic compounds. As you can see the structure of soaps and detergents, all these compounds are organic. Herbicides. Herbicides are also known as weed killers. Students, herbicides are those substances which are used to control the unwanted plants. An example of an organic herbicide is triflan or trifluralin, which is used to kill the unwanted plants and is basically used as a herbicide. Next is the use of organic molecule in the formation of photographic film. Students, photographic film is a sheet of plastic film which is coated on one side with a gelatin. And as you know that gelatin is derived from animal body parts, so that is why photographic film also contains the organic molecules. Similarly, the developer which is used to convert the latent image to a visible image is also an organic molecule, such as hydroquinone benzene 1,4-diol. This is basically the developer tray. Next is the use of organic molecules as flavors. Manzanite is a flavor ingredient which has a fruity apple smell. Isoamyl acetate has a flavor similar to both banana and pear. So this indicates that organic molecules are also used as artificial flavoring agents. Students, all these uses of organic molecules show the importance of organic compounds. The above discussion shows that organic chemistry involves every field of life and it covers every aspect of life. So, organic chemistry is everywhere. Students, your assignment is to solve these questions and learn their answers. At the end, moral lesson of the day. Students, as you have seen that the compounds such as carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, carbonate and bicarbonate have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen in their structure, but still these are not regarded as organic compounds. These are basically inorganic compounds because these lack the characteristics which are typical of organic compounds. Similarly, some students are intelligent enough to be successful in life, but still they cannot because they lack that characteristic which is key to success, that is hard work. So basically the price of success is hard work and determination. If you are passionate about something and you work hard, then inshallah you will be successful, because our dream does not become reality through magic. It actually takes sweat, determination and hard work. So try your best, do your best, put all your efforts into work and seek Allah's guidance. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. O Almighty Allah, guide us to the straight path. Ameen. And one more thing, don't doubt your prayers, because you are talking to the one who really can make all of your dreams come true. With this, stay blessed, Allah Hafiz, and thank you so much.